Hey, and welcome everybody. We're back. It's the Mohawk Forex scalping team. True scalping live again, and we're back today. As yesterday there wasn't much news around. We had a good day actually, scalping DAX and a bit of the 500, but today there's some good news around. There's the earnings that have been announced. We've just been watching about First Republic Bank crashing on their earnings reports, and there's a lot of tech earnings coming out later this week, so the NAS and the US 500 are definitely the two to be looking at. And today for us, we're going to be focusing on the open in about 25 minutes, but then we've got the consumer confidence report, which is backed up with the new home sales, again all key indicators of inflation and the economy in America, so these should be good ones to move the markets, and then we'll see if the earnings affect everything. At the moment everything is looking kind of bearish. All the news is looking to take the 500 and the NAS down at the moment. If we're focusing on our 5-minute and 2-minute charts, which we've got synced up, as you can see on the 2-minute chart, we're kind of in that no man's land trap between the 220 moving averages. We're looking to come down and retest this supply zone. If we break this, then we're going lower. If we bounce off this, then we're looking taking some buys back to our 200 moving average, and that's backed up on the 5-minute time frame as the same zone. We've got a nice automatic trend line here to tell us if we're going to get a break to the downside. We're kind of on a neutral daily pivot at the moment as well, so the price is just smashing against that and our baseline. So it all syncs up really well. Our baseline on the 5 minutes pretty much the same as the 20 and the 200 on the 2-minute, so in that great position we like to see before kind of a big move on the open, which, you know, looking at it, could well be to the downside. Any buys will be just market grabbing manipulation. Another reason why we don't set any pending orders, because we know this is what happens every single day and every single open. Markets will go the opposite way to what everyone thinks, take all the money and then go the way you want it to. So the best thing, if you're focusing on the 2-minute time frame, is initially go with the initial move. Be wary that it is going to probably reverse, get your money, collect your profits, and then come out of the trade and wait for the reversal. Or if you're not experienced at scalping, then obviously let the initial move run and wait to get the pullback. And again, we can use either the 2 or the 5. I like seeing them together. We've got a 5-minute chart here on the 500. As you can see, we're around the range of the daily pivot. We've got a buy zone higher up. We've got our low zone here. We had a lower low earlier on. We've got some heavy 4-hour support right down here at the 4098 level. So we'll see. I think everyone's indicating that we're going to hit this level. You know, until it moves, we never know for sure. But as you can see, if you zoom out there, you can see we've been on a decline with a nice run up yesterday, and then it's just everything's gone with the earnings report, come all the way back down again. This is what Bloomberg's reporting as well, but I never take what they say for granted. 2 minutes zoomed in, as you can see, of our 20 and our 200 prices sat on the 200 at the moment. So again, looking we could move either way. The bias is to the downside, but we'll wait for that initial move, see if we can catch some pips on the manipulation going up before hopefully price will come down and retest our support zone here. Look, as you can see. And then I had a level set down here. Look, we had a nice reversal signal, so we'll see if we're going to come all the way back down here. It's just the news on there, so we've got, like I say, 15-20 minutes of scalping, and then we'll head to the news and see what the consumer confidence is saying. It's looking about on point. 104, it was 104.2, so if it's around about on prediction, we might get a boost. It's really going to be the home sales that are going to be the one that dictate. Is there a decrease in new home sales? As you can see, 100,000 as expected. So again, this could be the catalyst for the move up or down on the SP-500 away from the bigger earnings news, which is more focused on the tech, the kind of tech. If you're trading the NAS, that's a bit more risky and more to do with the earnings than probably the other 500 at the moment. But we'll keep a track on all this. We did have the Schiller home price news, which is always a good pre-indicator that housing is better because prices have gone up and prices have risen. So, you know, we don't know how that's going to affect the new home sales. Is it going to make them weaker? Is it going to make them better? But that was a half an hour ago. That was the move, which, as you can see, was really nothing, because it's kind of, you could have taken a little scalp on this if you went to the 2-minute time frame. You could see here that there was your entry. Let's find it. Just on the 200, and it kind of went up and peaked. There's a few pips in there, but again, it's not one that I scalp. I usually just use it as a kind of a predictive for the rest of the news that's coming later on. So we'll split our screen, keep on the 2. There's the open. You can zoom in on the 2 to see price action up close, which is what you want to be doing, focusing on price action on the 2-minute. The RSIs are purely there as a, you know, an indicator that you're not totally going mad and going opposite to what, you know, everything's telling you. I'm not using them so much for entries as more as just a confirmation of the move. Obviously, if we're below our average line, it's looking for sales. If we're above our average line, we're looking for buys, and that's correct on both the 2 and the 5-minute. As you can see, look, both are conflicting. It's a sell on the 2-minute, it's a buy on the 5-minute, which means we're in a range, and we are, as you can see. So you just leave it alone until everything syncs up and we get the move. And like I say, we could be coming down to test our zone here, where we could get some nice buys, and if we get a break, then we're coming down lower. So we're below our 20, but sat on the 200. It's kind of the zone that you don't really want to trade. You want a price to be above both or below both, ideally. So we'll stick on this chart. Let's have a look quick at the news on investing. Don't think they're saying anything different. Yes, about First Republic. Oil, we know Joe Biden's launched his campaign. Whether that causes any boost, who knows. So there's nothing really there. Set to fall on mixed earnings is what they're saying. Don't always believe it, of course. Remember, there's always that manipulation, otherwise everybody would win just reading this every day. So yeah, it might well be we're still bearish overall, but there's still opportunities to take the buys and catch the pullbacks. If price goes up, what do? Sell at the top. Simple. If you're positive and confident that it's going to drop, then obviously you take the sales at the top, and vice versa. If you think we're going to hit here and bounce up, then you take the buys at the bottom. But we're not getting involved in any trades at the moment. Like I say, we've had a good morning already. We're trading 0.8. So we're basically 80 cents a pip. So nothing crazy. We're not doing crazy big sizes regardless of the count size. Spreads are quite wide at the moment as well, so we just want to wait as we get towards the open. Other people are saying it's coming down to 4,100 as a target level, all the way down here. Which is a key level. Obviously, traders like these round off numbers, and that's when you usually get a sticky support or resistance. 4,100 is a good level. There's a target set by a few people at 4,100, and from there we'll probably can get some buy. So it's a zone you can mark out if you want. There's no harm in marking out around that area. You know, as much as I've got these indicators that help me with the zones, it's always good to draw your own as well, just to see if your analysis is right or wrong. But that's a kind of an area. There's nothing there, it's total dead air. So yeah, this is just what other people are saying, but you can put a line on it. The only reason you mark it off is purely because it's a rounded off number. 4,100, and obviously you can go to 4,000, and same as, you know, 4,120 is a zone. Look, you can see here, look, it got to 4,120 the area and sold off. It just human psychology, the rounded off numbers where people like to play on. No one really does a half point. They'll wait for it to hit that full number, and that's the same for stocks as well. So we're below our baseline on the 5 minute, heading towards a zone here. Look, we've got this last zone that was retested. We'll just extend that. So it's nice, we've got a couple of zones. We've got our trend line extension as well, where we can get a bounce up and through. So some people might have put trades in on this, but again, at least now price on the 2 minute, if we just zoom in, is actually below the 20 and 2. And see how you could have popped, while I was talking, we could have popped a sell in on that, and straight away we've hit our TP of that bottom support zone where we had a bounce. There's your bounce, and then we could be possibly going lower, but we're just going to be waiting for the open. There's no panic. The spreads are always wider before the market opens, and that's the difficulty because it's slow moving, so you can be caught out. I've got Bloomberg on in the background. We'll listen to.
At times of distress in the market, generally the first quarter was very.
We've got a coffee on.
So clients looking at UBS as a safe haven.
As always, if you want to learn how to scalp like this, have access to our system, then obviously just go to the website www.mohawkforex.com. It's all in the description on the channel below.
Of the acquisition of Credit Suisse, we still saw inflows coming into our bank, so a sign of confidence of our clients.
That was UBS CEO Sergio Ermotti speaking to Bloomberg's Manus Cranny a little bit earlier on. The Swiss lender reporting its weakest quarterly profit in more than 3 years, and a disappointing outlook for its wealth unit too. Wealthy clients are turning more risk averse. Let's head over to Manus Cranny over in Zurich.
Let's get the chat up.
Manus, crazy quarter though for this company. Let's put some numbers on it.
So when you look at the numbers, you go, wow, net income down by over 50%.
Everyone's watching UBS again, Swiss banks.
Mortgage-backed securities, yes, you've talked about them. You thought you were done. Looks like they're batting that one into the ground. So that's dead. It comes to lending, a little bit weak, net interest income, pumping away on gas, but it might run out of a bit of puff. The issue here is the net new money. Suddenly we're back on that trade again. It's the whole deposit narrative of March. $28 billion came in, $7 billion came in the last 10 days of March after the deal closed. Why was the wheelbarrow not fuller in terms of bringing in net new money from Credit Suisse? Diversification. I'll nip up to Frankfurt overnight. Jonathan will find out where the funds flowed into Germany. The US, you had your very own special banking liquidity, SVB, First Republic crisis, and $8 billion of net new money came from the Americas. So the flow show, Jonathan, is I think part of the reason why somebody panicked a little bit this morning, or there was a nervousness and a skittishness, and they hit the sell button, traded down 5%. We've scooped it all the way back up, because I know the math was discomforting for Tom a little bit earlier on, and I make it much simpler. There's a truckload.
So the chat's open, yeah. So yeah, and we've been having good success since I switched from trading the US 30 DJ to 500. The win rate's gone up. We're last week I think we were at 82%, 83%. The week before we were 90%. So it's been doing really well. What I like about the 500 is, one, you can have a smaller account, but if you've got a bigger account, it means you can open more positions, you can average down to get yourself out of a hole if you do go in the wrong way, etc, etc. So and also it moves nicer. I think it's obviously it's 500 companies, so you know it's a bigger ship to turn. So even on the 2 minute time frame, it's still fairly smooth in the patterns it generates. So I've been liking it since I switched onto this. I've never traded it before this year, but it's been my biggest winner to date. So well happy with that.
Yes, I've met a lot of people that seem to know how they run Swiss banking.
I say we still trade gold, we still trade, I say the US 30 every now and then. DAX is the London session for us. We still do a bit of cable as well. It's thing with me is if I find a winning formula and I'm on it, I'll stick with it until it goes wrong. Then I'll switch to something else. It's simple as. You've got to change and adapt your strategy and the way you see things as the market changes. And the setup we've got right now using our MFS system, and all we've added is a 20 to 200 on the 2-minute time frame, is pretty good, considering how the markets are, how volatile they are at the moment, and the fact that you're trading on a 2-minute and a 5-minute time frame. If things change, then we can change our setup, you know. So that's the good thing about having this. There's plenty of indicators and settings and setters within our system that you get access to, and we can rejig this as and when we need to, if we need it. But predominantly it's all about price action and sitting on and waiting for news events, catalysts to get things moving, and that's the opens and the news is the basis of 90% of my trading.
Hey Manus, world-class coverage over the last 24 hours. Thank you, sir. Manus Cranny from Zurich.
So it says there, AK the Sloth, SP-500, slow mover.
Back with us for a final thought. Luke Hickmore, Keith Lerner. Luke, sometimes you've got two decisions. You can sell into strength or buy into weakness. For the financial
So now out of the zone. So again, we can draw our own zone around this zone. Look here, that's a smaller zone. There's price bounced out of that. Look,
why is that, Luke?
I think those margins are
retested, bounce, retested, bounce, and then has broke through, got to the 200 and dropped.
Is not a story the market's focused on, and we haven't seen the last, I suspect.
Let's get rid of this line now.
Deposits changing hands.
Luke, you separated it
The buy is going to be, I mean, we had a nice kind of, it's a kind of a W pattern, as you can see. Look, up, two bottoms, 1, 2. And we're going to get a push up on the open and then sell off around this area here. If it breaks this zone, it's a buy zone, we're going higher. And there is our sell zone. Where people are sat at that price. Look at that, it's a rounded price, 4130. See, that's where people are looking to sell, and people are looking to buy at 4125. So, you know, it's not rocket science that people like to buy the whole numbers, and you can see here, this is what happens. People looking to buy here, looking to sell here. That's on the 2-minute. On the 5-minute, there's your buy zone. It's got a small one there. Could be a nice resistance. And then we've got our 4-hour resistance up here.
Switzerland specifically, we all wondered whether it would upset the trade. Europe, overweight Europe versus say, the United States. That trade has played out.
We've got 7 minutes to go. Let's just zoom back in again on the 2-minute. I really want to see the action close up. Just get rid of that zone. Don't need to see that on there. It's just for you guys. Got a blue zone here, look, see, so, and then we've got our bigger zone here, see if it breaks.
But don't extrapolate. It might become increasingly difficult for Europe to keep beating the United States. Keith, they go one step further over at B of A. Monetary policy.
RSI's just dipped below now, going red, popping down. So look at my broker, just have a look what IC market. Spreads are still wide at the moment.
But with that, you'd expect the US to outperform Europe, and that's not actually what's materialised, Keith. Would you push back against that trade? Do you expect that gap to close?
Definitely bearish overall. That's what you've got to think about it. If you look here, it's a daily chart. We're above a 50 moving average, but with this heavy resistance zone on the daily, it's been retested, look, and hence the bounce down. So we could be dropping down to retest where the 50 is. When I say we get to that magic 4100 level, look, I'll just put a line, see on the daily. So they've got to drop that much to hit that 4100 that everyone's talking about. Got 1 hour 15. Again, I just have these as a flash just to say I'm not basing any trades really on it, other than just looking at the overall kind of sentiment. Otherwise you can confuse yourself, but it's nice to have a daily on there just to see what's happening. As you can see, we've hit resistance. This is why people are thinking we're going to come down lower. So you can use that. You can check on the 1 hour, it's below again. indecision candles, look, as it's tried to bounce up, dead cat bounce, or how you want to say it. We've got buys here on the 15, but again it's a heavy resistance, so you know, it's all pointing downwards, but let's see, you know. Don't take anything for granted. We can put a buy in quick, we can take some profit. If it hits a level here, we're probably going to bounce back down again. So here's a key. If you're looking to take buys and you're asking me, hey, you know, where am I looking to get out of the trade, it would be around that area here. And this is where it's a continuation and a drop, or it's going to hit this and pull back down. So if you miss the first move, it shoots up. When it gets to here, you pop some sells in. We'll catch the pullback, take the green, we'll wait for the next move. It goes higher, same again, higher, same again. Gets to here, same again, and then you wait and see if it breaks that zone. If it doesn't, we're coming down. If it does, we're going up, and then to the next level. There you go. So I'm always looking to catch the quick pullback reversals when the wick gets exposed, on, especially on the 2 minute. On the 5 minute, it's a bit different. I'm looking for the overall direction, what the candle is doing. See here, look, if you put a line on that big, nice big bullish candle, on the 2 minute you're right down the bottom here, so that was where your buy opportunity was. As that candle finished, bang.
So it's causing quite a lot of anxiety, which means, you know, for us, because we're up and down the country in branches and offices.
So RSI is still red, just breaking the average. 4 minutes to go.
It's very different, and it's not something people have had to operate in for a long time.
So good luck, everybody. And remember, don't get stuck in too many positions, because we have got the news coming up in 30 minutes as well. Look, this high impact new homes and consumer confidence, which is going to affect markets. And that's it for the day. You know, that's our trading done. Price now is below.
5 minutes away from the opening bow, down about 0.5% on both the S&P and on the Nasdaq. That's the price action. Let's get you some morning calls. First up, Citi upgrading Squarespace by $40 price target.
So when Bloomberg and other people announce markets are down, everything's saying, I'm always cautious that the market makers are going to take it the opposite way, clear out anybody's pending orders for selling, and then bang, drop the market. I'm just always skeptical. It's the best way to be, cautious. You know what I mean? I don't believe, you know, what the bigger entities are telling. Even if the market sentiment is to the downside, I still probably think there's going to be a push up, collect everybody's pending orders and stop losses that'll probably be around here, and then boom, it drops. Could be wrong, but that's just, I'm always thinking that mindset. I don't go, oh, everyone's saying it's down, so I'm going to take it. You know, yes, overall it might be, but initially when scalping on small time frames, you're going to get smashed. That's what I'm saying. If you are kind of trader that doesn't want to risk the initial open, then just wait for that first candle to finish, see how high it goes. If you see a wick expose, and jump in on the reversal. And that's true scalping. And always try and never take more than a one candle big loss as well. I'm always monitoring. I can see where my stop losses are going to be either side. And if price breaks above these areas either way, then obviously I'm out of the trade. Otherwise I'm putting extra trades in to counteract my trade. So there we go. So we've got 50 seconds left. So I like how the market fakes you out. Look, you see, look, people think, oh, it's going to buy, and it'll drop, and it'll go up. There's no prediction. And I say for me, the full-on buy is if it breaks above this line here, and then we're going up before we come back down again. And vice versa, look. 20 seconds to go. Look at that. Is that going to be shooting up and then bang down? Let's get ready. Good luck, everybody. Look at that, 5 seconds. Look at that. Oh.
Bloomberg has enhanced search on the terminal to deliver what you need when you need it. Now, you can simply type.
There's the push up, as I said. There's the manipulation. Let's see if that pushes up.
Find people. Analyze markets. You can enter phrases or ask questions.
That was $30. We just got the buy there. $30 done on that buy, on that push up. Let's have a look now. Let's see. Just watch that RSI. Watch it push up. Watch that wick get exposed. This is where it's clearing out everybody's pending orders for sales. Let's see if it fills that candle. It fills that wick on the 2 minute. So we managed to take. That was good. Yeah, we've got about $30 there. Just want to see it fill that candle. I'm not entering any more positions yet before we take a reverse. Just watch the RSI 52 on the average, struggling to break. We're on that neutral resistance look on the 5 minute. That's why it's finding it hard. It's trying to push. Go on, push up, push. 40 seconds left on this candle. That's what we wanted to see. As it goes higher, I'm just whacking the reversals in. Let's just see this. I've got 20 seconds left on the candle. There's the push up. Taking out everybody's pending orders, as I said.
About 30 seconds into the session, we're down here on the SP-500 by 0.4%, on the Nasdaq by 0.6. If you want to see some major price action, though, check out this name. First Republic, recording its biggest intraday drop in more than a month after reporting a
nice rejection. Just move this arrow around. Remember, it's got to break this zone here for me to convince that it's buys. On that neutral resistance look, there's the zone. Nice full candle again. 58, 59 on the RSI. Let's see if it's going to get to that purple line. It's going to pull back. So we took some nice buys already. We're waiting for some sells now.
Now, as for the other highlights, they have said that deposits have stabilized to this point. That doesn't necessarily seem to be shoring up confidence this morning. And as
look at that 5 minute rejection. There's that pushback.
Of its workforce, as well as exploring strategic options. So this is a bank clearly still struggling in the aftermath of the SVB and signature.
There's a nice push down.
In regional banks, however, it seems to
still waiting.
Worse from that crisis of confidence, which perhaps is exacerberted by the fact that executives didn't take any questions on the earnings call amid that ongoing.
We're above the 20 and the 200. RSI is 56, pushing back down again. So we're going to see if this goes red. It's fighting. You can see the candle on the 2 minute.
Here it is. They downgrade the shares to a sell. They write this. Pretty punishing, brutal language, to be honest with you. First Republic results were far worse than we expected, and we believe the
indecision candle. So this could be coming down now. Here we go. Look at that 2 minute price action. Right? You can see that. Zoom in here. Look.
Another bank reporting across the other side of the Atlantic. We mentioned UBS. They're actually paring their declines right now after falling more than 5% a little bit earlier in Swiss trading. The Swiss lender writing in a statement this: while concerns about the stability of banks have abated, they have not gone away. As a result, client activity levels could remain subdued in the second quarter of 2023. Shinali, great to catch up with you, because when you put this all together, we might have
nice play watching this.
Names, but ultimately it's going to be a challenge
certainly is, but remember the reason they're pairing their gains in the market, John, is because you have UBS coming in with the mother of all deals here. They're about to have the biggest charge here, a negative goodwill charge of more than 51 billion Swiss francs.
People taking profit now. Now people are going to enter the orders. Pushing down. Just waiting for one pick push down.
Banking side, equities coming in below expectations. It tells you two things. One, even the world's wealthy are not immune to tough times. Even though net new money is up, the revenue again because client activity.
There's a nice reversal candle, nice indecision look.
Estimates, I'm sorry about that. But the equities trading, the reason it matters, remember we're one prime broker short in the world now without Credit Suisse. So UBS, as it
stuck at that level there.
Banking business, can they gain share? This is a bank that has avoided risk very
Brilliant.
significantly since the last financial crisis.
As it hit that, I took some profit off the table. And what did we get there? I think we got another $35 there. So look, 35, 35, 35.
Wonderful coverage, not just this morning, but over the last few weeks as well on the financials, the last few months for that matter. That's UBS. Let's talk about UPS. That stock is down.
Wait for the next candle.
Almost 8%. They're projecting annual sales to come in at the low end of its guidance as demand continues.
So we took two batches of, we took the buys on the initial open, which I'm just posting to the group, and we took the sells there. Here's the push down. See, it was all about that, this candle here, that cross there. Look at that. You see, that's the candle you want to see, the indecision. Now we can wait and see if we break below here. Look on the 5 minute, the neutral support, the daily pivot has been broken.
The quarter that they just reported basically in line, a little bit of a miss for sales, but it has everything to do with guiding toward the bottom.
You've got all this kicking off as well.
The company talking about the weakness that they're seeing.
Like I say, I'm not looking to buy unless it goes above here. Let's watch now. We can zoom in. This is really good.
Back then, maybe less so now. They're talking about weak U.S. retail sales and that they're seeing weaker demand. So again, they're at the lower end of their guidance for sales. In the quarter that just was, while on the surface basically in line, operating profit margins did fall 11% from 14%, so maybe not managing.
We've got 50 seconds left in this candle. So again, the market's undecided. Had this push up, manipulation. It's hovering. Are we going to get the drop? This is what we're waiting for.
Possibility of a strike. They have to negotiate a contract of 300
the rejection
workers by the end of the year. The stock had been, wow, what a chart there. The stock had been up more than 10%, now just up 3.4%. I wouldn't say it was priced to perfection before, but maybe you could say that, John, given the fact that now it's almost even on the year, really eating into.
If I'm going to sell, I'm going to sell the top here.
Getting punished. Stock's down 8% on UPS. Here's a stock up almost 8%. It's positive 7.5% right now. Spotify rising after posting double-digit subscriber growth. Ed Ludlow joins us now on the West Coast for more. Morning, Ed.
Yeah, good morning, Jonathan. Subscribers coming in at 210.
Sat on that neutral support in the 5 minute. That's why. If everyone's saying to me, why isn't it breaking? Because of this, look, this is the daily pivot. It's sat right on it. We've got 1 minute 50 left. That's why we're not in a rush. So we're sat above the 20, the 200, and we're sat on this neutral support. I want to see that break on the 5 minute time frame. And you can see the neutral on the RSI on both. So we're ranging basically because everyone is waiting pretty much for this news now. 20 minutes to go. This is kind of a no trade zone. Like I say, it's a buy above, it's a bounce down sell, and it's a sell below here. So these are the kind of gaps we're looking for, but we have to load 5 or 6 trades in to make it worthwhile. There's not a lot. There we go. This looks nice.
So they were able to grow their subscriber base, their monthly active user base, and then forecast that will continue sequentially. That's got a lot of the street very positive, up more than 8%, on track for his biggest gain since the end of January, Jonathan.
Ed, you mentioned Apple.
59 seconds left, 50 seconds left. Just watch this candle finish.
Later, Google and Microsoft, tomorrow, Meta.
But whenever you see a cross like this, this is what you want. Morning Star, DOGE. It's usually going to go reverse the next candle, which I did. Enough to take get some profit, like I say, about $35.
On the SP-500, a pullback of 15%.
Look at that. There's the look at that, perfectly rejected.
We're worried about the bread and butter businesses, the core businesses, and how they are going.
Got 30 seconds left.
You know, in Microsoft's case, cloud and enterprise software, alphabet search, what we're looking for is A, what was the action of layoffs and cost cuts to the bottom line in terms of margin protection, and then B, are there some saving graces? So you take Alphabet as an example, we're worried about that core search business, but does Google Cloud then step up and save the day in a way that AWS has done for Amazon in the past?
Big effort for the Bloomberg Technology team. Coverage starts in a couple of hours on Bloomberg TV. Looking forward to it, Ed, alongside Caroline Hyde. The broader market right now, 9 minutes into the session, we're negative 0.4% on the SP 500. Earlier on this hour, you heard from Luke Hickmore and others.
That's what I want to see.
Talking about the potential for yields being lower. Let's talk about the potential for yields being higher. Katie Kaminsky of Alpha Simplex going short bonds and saying this: we may see a risk of a strong curve steepening and sell-off in bonds later this year as investors face the reality.
We've got another cheeky $10 there. Sold on that reversal. Let's see now if this breaks above or it's going to reverse. Just watching the RSI curl up. Like I say, is our next level now. Just $10 that's all it took just on that little pullback. Oof, that's enough. That's all you need. Took 3 positions.
Basic mechanics that affects long-term cash flows. If that's the case, at some point people might start to realize that longer-term debt is not worth as much as what it is.
It's pushing now, pushing above.
Quickly. And I think that's something that people are underestimating because they're just hoping that everything's just going to stop and go back to normal. And I think that they're ignoring the risks in the bond.
Let's see if this is going to push up.
Being actively short is very different to just not being long. Now, Katie, I wonder if these massive swings over the last few months make it difficult being actively short this market. How do you go about doing that?
Yes, this is a good point. I mean, let's just be honest. We saw one of the biggest shocks that we've seen and one of the biggest bites for short positioning earlier in March when you had that flight to safety. But on the other hand, we might be ignoring the long end of the curve.
20 seconds to go.
Could have potential to move if we see inflation for a longer period of time. And I think most investors are hopeful.
10 seconds.
That inflation will come down, hopeful that a Fed pause will be nice to the equity markets.
Nice rejection.
And waiver this. But I think where you'll see the catalyst of problems is when you actually see the fixed income markets have trouble later in the year, which could predate.
Let's see if it's going to retest that again.
So, Casey, let's assume you're right. Let's work with that. High yields and do some scenarios.
We needed it to finish above that line for it to be a buy. That's what I was waiting for. So,
what do you expect to happen with equity leadership off the back of the call that you're making in the bond market?
we're above the 20 and the 200, so I wonder if we're going to get a retest.
That means that people lose confidence in the valuation of long-term cash flows, which then affects discount rates, which kind of shows that lending is even more expensive. That's going to put tightening on equity markets, which would cause a lot of problems. On the other hand, it might create the desired result.
Nice resistance, you see, support now on the neutral. It's now become support.
In the right place. Unfortunately, that's not a very fun scenario for most investors. If we actually see a drawdown in both equities and fixed income, that's what we had last year, and it's not a very pleasant experience for the 60-40.
Just to recap some of the price action right now, First Republic down 29%, record low on the stock. Brutal stuff is trading.
And we're in, yes, we took the buys there. That was good. Took it at the bottom of that candle and just came out as it hit that purple line again, and that was another 15, 6, 18, 25. Got a back execution on one, so I lost 6, but 1 6, 1 5, 1 6. So that was another 20, yeah, another $20. So nice scalping so far. Like I say, all this is in a range. All this is in a range, and we're literally just waiting for the news. I'm just having a bit of fun, just taking a few trades while we wait for the consumer news. You can see this kind of just keep playing off this area. If it finishes above, we're going higher, more than likely. So I drew the luck of that. Tested it, tested it, tested it, tested it, tested it. Rejection. So eventually we know it either drops or will break well above it.
Good question. Gold has really rallied on this move.
Watch RSI, look. And we'll just watch this candle, 1 minute 50 left. And on the 5 minute now, we've got a nice support zone on our daily pivot.
One of the few trends. It's one of the few signals that we're seeing from a technical perspective.
We've got a buy zone here on the 5120. 5122. 4122, sorry.
What would you advocate for when you take exposure to precious metals, would you do it directly? Would you do it through miners?
SP overall is down, but for us,
so you
it's
can
up.
take direct exposure via ETFs or via futures. There are also indices which investors can take exposure in as well if they think that they don't want to just park cash.
Just small gains, that's all you want. Small little base hits, nothing crazy. Not while waiting, not while we've got this news coming in 15 minutes.
I think pretty often
So again, rejected, candle hasn't finished yet, 59 seconds, 50 seconds you see. So as I can fool you, that's where you have to wait for it to break a key level. It's rejecting now.
Talking about gold, platinum, palladium, it's because those assets were less active in an inflation
Opens lower. Well, it kind of didn't for us on a 2 minute. It went up. I mean, it came from the bottom here on the open and is up 6 pips. Beautiful rejection. Look at that, lovely rejection.
Luke Hickmore was talking about lower yields. Katie's talking about the prospect of higher yields and a range of outcomes more broadly cross-asset for that. The equity market, first of all, we're down about 1/3 of 1%. On the Nasdaq, negative 0.4%. Outside of that, in the bond market right now, yields lower by 7 basis points. Dallas Fed manufacturing yesterday softer. Philly Fed, that number this
Lovely rejection. So that is a pure zone. I told you 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and bang, we're going down lower. Look.
Stock is down by 29%. And moments ago, a record low. Coming up,
Record
making the
lows.
2024 run official.
Let's finish this job. I know we can. Because this is
And we're in, and we're out. Brilliant. Yay, we got in there, and we got in just as it broke the 200, and we got out as it hit our blue zone. And oh, that was great. We managed to clear 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 or $100. Yes, that's the move we wanted. We wanted a one big splurge. $100 there. Just post those results so everyone can see in my group. I'm not just talking, chatting shit. There you go. That was the move. Beautiful price action. Now you just got to jump in, jump out. And again, why? Because we saw that level tested 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then there was the break. Saw that candle, looked good, broke the 20. Literally, as soon as it broke that 200, I was in, and I got out here. Because I don't know if that support zone's going to hold up or not. It hasn't. There's the next one here, look.
Or having to post on social media every day. Well, you'd probably tell me it's too good to be true, and you'd tell me to screw off, and that would be...
I will. And we're going lower. This is the move we've been waiting for. Look at that. This is the move. Look at the RSI as well. RSI is red just to back up your analysis, but we could see it coming. We could see there was either one of these candles was going to finish above this zone and we were going higher, or we were going to get a rejection. And I said it, and they rejected. It broke the 20. Just wait then. Breaks the 200. You've got to take that trade because you know you've got a level. It's hit it here 1, 2 times. So this is a... This area here is a guaranteed win zone because price has been there before. This, you don't know. It's done something. People say, oh, why didn't you hold? You could have held longer. Yeah, but it could have bounced off this one. It could have bounced off this one. It's bouncing up now. You don't know. You want these guaranteed zones where price has been and retested. And it retested those zones here, look. So that's where I was in and out. Done. True scalping. No messing around. You know, if you're going to set a stop loss, you want it to be above the 20. You don't need it because you'll end it manually. You'll see it before you get a chance to set it. And now we found a support area here. Look, it's coming back up. And look at that, bouncing on the 5 minute. Look at that zone we set. Perfect. Rejected out of the zone. And why did we draw that zone? Because of here. Again, retested 1, false break. 2, 3, 4 times again out of that zone. There you go, look. Your lower low. Now if it finishes below this zone, we're going lower. If it finishes above it, we're popping back to retest the 220. Like I said, I'd be in on it. The only reason I'm not back in on it at the moment is one, we've broken our daily TP, so it's really good, but also we're waiting for the news. Remember, always don't get carried away. Remember, there's news coming that could screw everything up. 10 minutes. So you've got to be confident if you are going to enter a trade now, you're going to get out before the news comes, or you can get absolutely smashed. So we're just going to watch now. This is good. Yeah, that was a good, you know, a couple of little tiny scalps, a few dollars here and there, and then we had that one big move, and we managed to get out. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trades we managed to get on that sell, and each one was about $15, so that was good. Good, nice little $100. That's a nice, that's what we want. This is what I like, combination of the two charts together, the 2 and the 5, with our system overlaid on it. You can see these zones that we're drawing manually, and it's backing up what we're seeing on the automated. So I'm just going to get rid of this one now because we've broke that. We've got a zone here, look now.
The President of the United States officially launching his re-election bid, setting up a possible rematch against GOP frontrunner Donald Trump. This as Biden remains locked in a standoff with Speaker McCarthy over the debt ceiling.
Could have taken a buy on that, but again, I'm just, because we're so close to the news event, you don't want to risk it. So look at the bigger picture. There was the open.
Team coverage begins right now with Anne-Marie in DC alongside Katie Lights. Want to start with you, AMH?
So the open was definitely a push to the upside, and we grabbed some buys before taking the reverse. As I said that when we started the stream that more likely there were going to be buys going against what everyone is saying, Bloomberg, and that the market's lower, and so you've got these manipulations. People might have been entering sells on this candle here, bottom of the candle is where the open was. So straight away, look at that, your stop loss would have been there, you would have been wiped out, and then guess what, market goes your way. We see this every day. Play it. Instead of being foolish, learn and then play it. Play the game. Take the manipulation, get out as we did, and then the market goes the way it was meant to. So we're coming down to our level here. Look, we've got a support. This is like a 1 hour minor support. It's like a 1 hour support level that automatically gets drawn on your chart. Heavy support is like a 4 hour support.
Let's talk about his age because it keeps coming up. 70% of all Americans, according to this poll.
Again, the reason I'm not jumping in at the moment is because obviously we're waiting for the news. So
in 2024, the major reason, nearly half of those respondents cited his age as a major reason.
that's the 2 minute, you see, dead cat bounce, and then boom, see, hit, bounce, drop. So we'll stick on the dual screen.
And I think actually the real elephant in the room is not that the president is 80 and will be 86 at the end of his second term. It's whether you believe he is someone at 80 that does not have the capacity to do this job. Because that's not true of everyone in older age. Is it true of this individual?
Well,
good luck to him.
Has had a very difficult in terms of traveling schedule over the past 2 years of his presidency.
So we'll just put our marker on here. We've got the news coming.
And go into these difficult meetings. And at the moment when you
always good to, so you know exactly when the events are coming, so you're not, you know.
His age has not hindered him. We should also know that
we can just put on here, we'll put on here, it's the homes and confidence, consumer confidence. So you know, if you don't like trading the news, that you get out of a trade before price comes to this point. If you like trading it like we do, then you know this is where your trigger's going to be.
Biden says, I was able to do it, I proved myself, and watch me, I'll do it again. Age, he understands, is a factor, but he says he's healthy right now, and he's ready to take on 2024.
And these are the last trades of the day for me.
This year, before we get to next year, the debt ceiling debate, the kind of economy that we'll be talking about through the campaign and into next year. Where are we on that front now, Katie?
Well, of course, the X date is drawing closer by the day. Now, in D.C. today, later on this afternoon, Speaker McCarthy's $1.5 trillion debt ceiling raise proposal will go to the Rules Committee. That's not going to see any changes to the bill. It will just set the floor procedures because our reporting here at Bloomberg indicates that both Speaker McCarthy and his top lieutenants have told their fellow Republicans this bill will go to the floor as is. They are not going to change it despite different members of the Republican caucus raising issues on things like the ethanol tax credits as well as work requirements for social programs. So there is still a question as to whether Speaker McCarthy can get the 218 votes that he needs. But Henrietta Trey's over at Beta Partners this morning says that actually the timing of Biden's announcement may be working in McCarthy's favor here. She wrote the tone in D.C. is increasing.
Got some good volume as well. We had some good volume on that. See, it's ranging around now because we're waiting for this news.
Around Biden's re-election announcement, it is now their base.
5 minutes to go.
Thing will go through. Then it becomes a question of whether or not the White House and the Democrats are going to be open with negotiating with McCarthy should he get the votes to pass his bill.
Hey, Kaylee, thank you. Alongside Anne-Marie, the update from Washington, D.C. The broader market right now, 23 minutes into the session, we're negative 0.6% on the S&P. Coming up very shortly, your trading diary. Before we get there, First Republic right now in early trading, trying to bounce down 28, 29% lower, record low.
Record low.
Steve's ability on the course may not be etched into any record books, but following him around, it's clear that it's not for lack of trying. Jeez. We were constantly hustling behind him as he caught up with executives in the portfolio companies and reminisced with former and current players.
He was a day trader on himself, self-made day trader. Yeah. And so he's on the bus after a game in New England, and he's day trading on the bus, and Bill Belichick sees him, cuts him on the spot.
In many ways, it's a convention, right, of the people that I don't see maybe once a year, and so it's kind of all come together. My firm, our charity.
So we've got 3 minutes to go. Get ready. Look at that, beautiful. I want to see it just sit there where it is, and see what if we get a little boost up back to our 200 moving average before we drop again. We will see.
And this simple one-page e-commerce website is all we use to sell thousands of products that we don't even see, ship, or touch. And I want to give this e-commerce store to you for a one-time payment of just £27. Now, the way that this works is by using a business model called dropshipping. Now, you may have heard of dropshipping before. It's basically where...
Right, we have got literally 1 minute 30 seconds to go on the final trades of the day. We've got a bit of a bounce. Oof. Are we going to get a boost up? Are we going to be manipulated? You know, again, some people wait for the news to come out and watch this. We know there's always a lag, and we know the market makers already know this result like before we do. So you can do that and wait and get in late. Or just watch the chart, know it's coming and go with the direction, and then you can look at the result after and go, okay, I know why it moved in one certain direction, because like I say, there's manipulation out there. You've got to be careful. We want to see a high figure on consumer confidence. Is it going to be higher? 50 seconds. Good luck, everybody. 30 seconds to go. Let's just have a look and see. We're watching the 2 minute really predominantly. We can see the police synced up really well. We know what we're looking at. How we're going to break through the zone here. And we're going to have a nice little push back up to our 20 and 200. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Consumer confidence, here we go. It's better than expected. Let's just see. And see if we get a cheeky little push.
COVID's enough of a change that I ought to be able to do something new.
Brilliant, and we're in and out. Yay, done it. Yeah, we got out. Why? Because of our blue zone here. It's going to pull back. It might go higher. I managed to grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions, and we got 10, 20, 30, 40, $50. Brilliant. $50 there. So we're about $250 of profit in 30 minutes of scalping. That will do. Yeah, it went higher, but again, we're true scalping here. It hit the 200. Now it's going to pull back. Beautiful move. Again, it's all about getting in, getting out. I took 5 positions. You can take 1 position and hold it if you want to hit the 20, or I just take the 5 positions. As soon as I'm getting 20 to 50, you know, on a trade, I'm taking my green. And because look what happens, look, you're getting a rejection. Pull back now. You could have got in on the sell if I wanted and pulled back, and now you can just check the news to see why. Confidence is down, homes are up. So home sales again overrode the consumer confidence news, as you can see, better than expected. So people are buying homes. There was another 500,000 added. Was that 50,000 plus 0.05? There you go. And that's what's pushed the 500 up, and now we're probably going to come all the way back down again. And that's it, team. That's how you do it. Again, don't be greedy. We'll just mark that as a nice win there. Again, remember, not everything's always going to hit lines, hit zones. So if you see the green and you're taking it like that, just don't feel bad about getting the money and getting out. The longer you're in a trade, remember, the more likely you're going to get burnt. That's just the way it is. But happy with that. 250 in 30 minutes of trading. Nice and smooth, nice and easy. No stress on that one. Traded the manipulation on the open. Got the big move once we got it. Waited for the consolidation. Took the news event. And now we're bouncing against the 20 and the 200. So now you can either wait for price to come back down to retest this support zone and break to go lower, or you can wait for price to break the 20 and 200 and go back up to our purple line of resistance that we set for a buy. And then if it breaks that, you're going higher to the next buy zone. It's just a case of waiting. It's how much time you want to spend on the charts waiting, and also drilling down to knowing what you're looking at, how the like we're trading the 500 here, how this moves. And the more you study one specific thing rather than bouncing around 20 different Forex pairs or indices, the more confident you'll be when you spot something like a move like we just saw on the news there. And there's the pullback. You see rejection, price probably come all the way back down to where it was before the news. So consumer confidence is lower, as probably we'd expect, but people are still buying houses, and that's even when the house prices have an increase. So that shows us the economy is still strong. It'd be interesting to see if Bloomberg they're going to be on a break now. So you know, once Bloomberg comes back on in 10-15 minutes, you'll just see what they're saying about it. But look at that rejection on the 5 minute. There's your new homes. There's the news. Look at that. Bang. That was a nice See, if you were just looking at it on the 5 minute, you could have got out before it hit the neutral resistance. If you're watching it as we did on the 2 minute, and then we got out before we hit our blue zone here. So here's where we took our profit. I always go to the first key level. So we took the buy and we got out here. That's enough. That got me $50, you know, so I don't need to be greedy and thinking it's going to all the time smack, and it did. It smacked the 220 and pulled back, and you could have got a little cheeky sell on that reversal as well, which is what I usually do. If a news event, because sometimes these candles move quicker than before you get to see the result, manipulation, everything, and people panic and then go, oh no, I've missed it. So they enter in the direction, and guess what? They get burnt. If you miss that move, no, there's always going to be a reversal. There's always a chance to catch. Just watch the price action. There will be a reversal happening, because 9 times out of 10 price goes back to where it started. So if we'd missed this, we could have jumped in and took sales at the 200. It's a flash quick event. It's not a big, you know, it's not NFP or anything like that. So it's a quick event. Bang, take the sell, grab the same amount of money. You could have got $50 on the sell here. I took $50 on the buy, could have 50 on the sell, and then you wait. You don't do anything at the moment. You wait and see if we're going to get a retest of our support zone and a break, or we're going to get a break above. And this is how you got to focus, drill down just to 1, 2 charts, a couple of your favorite indicators. Our MFS system here does what we needed to do to confirm. Once we know RSI gets above our average line, you know, we're looking, and both of them are, we're looking at a bull. And if we're below, we're bearish. You know, it's not hard. It's just not jumping in too early or too late. Timing your entries. So that's it. So we took about 22 positions, micro scalps, or the old. But like I say, we're overall for the day, I'm $346 up. That's after trading the DAX as well this morning. So that's a nice little day, you know, for basically I traded for 40 minutes this morning, and we've done literally, we came live in an hour, but we didn't sort of trade until the open. So we're talking about just over an hour's worth, an hour and a half's worth of trading for $346 using 80 cents lot sizes. You know, we're not Lamboing by any shake of the sticks. We're using, you know, we're looking at a margin here of $150, so you can be trading this with a $500 account, you know, if you want to. I trade it with more, but it's all about, you know, not getting carried away with lot size. And I don't change my lot sizes, I just enter more positions. That's the way I see it. That's why I like to do it, so I can cover my trades, and rather than putting just one trade on the line, I like to get half a dozen trades going, and I can cover my positions as each of them goes green. That's my technique. There you go. So as you can see, look again, look, we had as I just talking, it's coming to fruition. Look, it's retested the 20 and the 200, and bang, we're back down to where we were before the news event. So we could have got the buy, the sell, the retest. You could have earned yourself $150 there. I'm talking away, you know, but I don't need to. I've hit my daily TP, and I'm a firm believer when you've hit it, just walk away, watch it and go, yeah, I was right. You know, for next time when this setup happens again, you'll be more confident taking the trade. So there we go. Right, you guys can watch this based in the US and see how this goes for the rest of the US session. I'm done for the day, and I'll be doing some more back testing and talking to some of the students. And like I say, if you like how I trade and you want to learn more, then firstly click the like, subscribe if you haven't, and hit us up on the website or drop me a message in the YouTube channel. So we are all done. That was a nice little session, and bang, there we go. So we will be live again at some point. Again, if you click the notifications, I'll let you know when I'm going to be live again. So until the next one, trade safe, true scalp, keep believing, keep testing, keep practicing, and you'll get there eventually. And I'll see you on the next live stream. Take care, everyone.